line M is parallel to line N. So once again, line M is parallel to line N. And if we wanted to show the rule on the picture, we put arrows. So this shows parallel. Now, if you notice over here, there's a few vocabulary words here on the left, and these are all different types of angles that are forming congruent angles. So corresponding angles form congruent angles, vertical angles form congruent angles, alternate interior angles form congruent angles, and alternate exterior angles form congruent angles. Now, if you look at this one over here, this thing called the same side interior angles, or sometimes they refer to it as the consecutive interior angles, these do not produce congruent angles. These produce angles that add up to 180. Okay, just so you understand there's a difference. Now let's just do a quick review. So once again, when you hear the word corresponding angles, I need you to remember this statement. Same side, top, top, same side, bottom, bottom. So once again, corresponding, same side, top, top, same side, bottom, bottom. Now what does that mean? Well, if you look over here, this transversal separates this into a left side and a right side. So once again, this transversal separates this into a left side and a right side. And so when I say side, I'm referring to left side or right side. Well, first of all, let's look on the right side. So on the same side on the right, what's top of the line and top of the line? So like you see here, angle 2 and angle 6 is congruent. They're corresponding. Same side, top, top. Likewise, same side, bottom, bottom. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. Same idea on the left, same side, top, top. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. And same side, bottom, bottom. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. So those are corresponding angles. Now let's think about vertical angles. So when you hear the word vertical, I want you to think of vertical V. Vertical V. So if you look over here, do you see how this angle 2 is like in the shape of a V? And vertical angles kiss at the vertex. So it's two V's that kiss at the vertex. So angle 2 is vertical to angle 4. Angle 1 is vertical to angle 3. Angle 5 is vertical to angle 7, and angle 6 is vertical to angle 8. Now the next one, we have this thing called alternate interior angles. Now when you think of alternate interior angles, I need you to remember this little statement. Alternate interior angles, inside corners of the Z. Alternate interior angles, inside corners of the Z. Well, within this big picture here, you should be seeing a Z. So do you see what I see? So this is the Z I'm referring to. And so if you look over here, what are the two angles that are inside the corner of the Z? This is angle 4 and this is angle 6. So angle 4 and angle 6 are congruent because it's inside corner of the Z, alternate interior angles. Now let's look at the other Z. So if you look at this backward Z, so I drew this in purple, this backward Z, what are the two angles that are inside the corners of this backward Z? Well, it's angle 3 and angle 5. So therefore, angle 3 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles. Now, since I already have this purple Z drawn here, let's use this to go over the next vocabulary word. So alternate exterior, outside corners of the Z. Alternate exterior, outside corners of the Z. So if you look over here, before we said that this was inside. So when you look directly across, that's what you call the outside. Opposite of in is out. And so this is outside the corner of the Z. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. So what does that mean? If you look at this Z, this is the inside and this is the out. So angle 1 and angle 7 are alternate exterior. Now let's go back and look at the forward Z. So if we drew this forward Z, before we said angle 4 was inside. And so when you look directly across or opposite that angle, angle 2 is outside the corner of this Z. Likewise, if you look over here, this is the inside, and when you look opposite, this is the outside. And so this is the outside corner of the Z. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 8 by alternate exterior angles. So all the angles I discussed right now, these are all congruent angles. They're all the same. But now let's discuss a different type of angle. This angle, which called the same side interior angles, sometimes they refer to it as consecutive interior angles. They do not produce congruent angles, but they produce angles that sum up to 180. Now, what does same side mean? Well, just like I said before, side means right or left. So right now, let's look at the right side here. So if I'm on the right side, that's the same side, and interior means in between the two parallel lines. So on the right side, in between the two parallel lines, what are the two numbers? Well, we have 3 and we have 6. So angle 3 and angle 6, notice they also sit on a straight line, so they're supplementary. So they add up to 180. Same idea here. We are now on the left side, so that same side on the left. Interior means in between the two parallel lines. So what are the two angles that are in between the two parallel lines and on the same side on the left? It's angle 4 and angle 5. And notice that angle 4 and angle 5 also sit on a straight line, so they're supplementary. They add up to 180.